Pierce Brosnan, a name synonymous with charm, elegance, and cinematic allure, was born on May 16, 1953, in Drogheda, County Louth, Ireland. To the outside world, he would later become the iconic face of James Bond, embodying sophistication and bravery. But the story behind the man reveals a life far more complex, full of silent battles, emotional scars, and tragedies that shaped the person beneath the public persona. Raised in a modest household, Pierce faced adversity early. His father, Thomas Brosnan, passed away from cancer when Pierce was just 8 years old, leaving a void that would linger throughout his life. His mother, May, struggled to raise him amidst the grief and financial hardship that followed. This loss left a young boy grappling with feelings of abandonment, insecurity, and the fragility of life. These early experiences shaped his deep sensitivity and gave him a perspective on human vulnerability that would later inform his work as an actor. School was both a refuge and a challenge. While he demonstrated a natural aptitude for storytelling and performance, the shadow of his father's death and the instability at home often left him feeling isolated. Acting for Pierce was more than a career choice. It became a lifeline, a way to channel grief, longing, and the complexity of emotions that he had carried from a young age. In his teenage years, he moved to London to pursue acting, a decision that would alter the course of his life forever. At 19, he enrolled at the Drama Center, immersing himself in the craft and dedicating himself to mastering the art of performance. Yet the city, filled with ambition, opportunity, and harsh realities, also exposed him to a world of pressures and temptations that would test his resilience. Early in his career, Brosnan faced rejection after rejection, a reality that could have easily crushed his spirit. But he persevered, developing a tenacity that would serve him in both professional and personal battles. Friends describe this period as formative. It honed his empathy, resilience, and understanding of human struggle. It was during these years that Pierce developed the emotional depth that would later allow him to inhabit complex roles, from action heroes to characters struggling with internal conflict. Pierce Brosnan's break came in the 1980s when he was cast as Remington Steele in the hit television series of the same name. The role catapulted him to international fame, combining charm, wit, and undeniable screen presence. To fans, he seemed unstoppable, a figure whose life appeared glamorous and secure. Yet, beneath the surface, challenges persisted. While professional success was thrilling, personal tragedy struck with cruel timing. In 1991, Pierce's first wife, Cassandra Harris, whom he had met years earlier and married in a union filled with love and support, was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. She had been a guiding force in his life, both emotionally and professionally, often encouraging him during the uncertainty of his early career. Her illness plunged Brosnan into a deep period of grief, testing his emotional strength. Cassandra's death in 1991 marked a turning point. Brosnan, now a widower, faced single parenthood and the overwhelming task of raising their adopted children while grappling with intense sorrow. Friends noted his stoicism, but those close to him knew the depth of his despair. It was a quiet, private grief, hidden from the public, a testament to his desire to protect his family from the media's relentless scrutiny. During this period, Pierce also faced professional turbulence. Though he had achieved fame through television, the transition to film required patience and resilience. Studios, critics, and audiences are unforgiving, and Brosnan had to navigate both the public spotlight and his private grief. Each casting decision, each audition, and each role carried weight, not just professionally, but emotionally. as he worked to rebuild his life while honoring the memory of his late wife. The turning point came in the mid-1990s when Brosnan was offered the iconic role of James Bond. Initially, contractual obligations prevented him from accepting, but once free, he stepped into a role that would define a generation. As 007, Pierce exuded charisma, danger, and sophistication, a perfect blend of heroism and vulnerability. Yet, even in the midst of this professional triumph, personal challenges remained. Bond may have been fearless on screen, but Brosnan continued to wrestle with the echoes of loss, grief, and the weight of responsibility as a father and a man seeking emotional equilibrium. Despite his immense success, Pierce Brosnan's life has been punctuated by profound personal tragedies. Beyond the loss of Cassandra Harris, he endured the death of a close friend and co-star, moments of career uncertainty, and the pressures of maintaining a public image while managing private turmoil. Hollywood, while rewarding, often amplifies personal struggles, and Pierce was no exception. The media's fascination with his life as James Bond sometimes obscured the reality of his humanity. While audiences admired his charm, few recognized the emotional labor required to navigate grief, parenthood, and personal setbacks simultaneously. Behind every smile at premieres and award shows was a man who had witnessed loss, faced uncertainty, and confronted the fragility of human life firsthand. Brosnan has also been candid about his battles with health and lifestyle pressures. Maintaining the physicality required for action roles, the public scrutiny of appearance, and the stress of constant travel took a toll. Friends and insiders recount periods of exhaustion, anxiety, and emotional strain, reminders that even the most composed and charismatic public figures grapple with vulnerability. Another layer of challenge came from the scrutiny of his relationships. Brosnan's second marriage to actress Keely Shea Smith brought joy but was not without its pressures. The balance between career, family, and personal well-being demanded constant attention. Navigating public curiosity, paparazzi intrusion, and professional obligations created stress that required emotional discipline and resilience. The man the world saw as suave and unflappable was also a father, a husband, and an individual negotiating the complex demands of life in the limelight. Now at 72, Pierce Brosnan's life reads like a tapestry of triumph and tragedy. The glamour of James Bond and his many cinematic successes is undeniable, yet the personal cost has been profound. The grief of early loss, the challenges of parenting after widowhood, and the pressures of fame have all left indelible marks. In interviews, Pierce often reflects on mortality, legacy, and the fragility of human life. He speaks candidly about the lessons learned through loss, the necessity of cherishing family, the importance of emotional honesty, and the strength derived from enduring hardship. His story serves as a reminder that celebrity does not shield one from the realities of pain, grief, or emotional struggle. Friends and colleagues describe Pierce as deeply empathetic, shaped by the adversities he has faced. He is committed to family, grounded in personal values, and aware of the fleeting nature of life and success. Yet even in moments of reflection, the shadows of past tragedies remain, a poignant reminder that resilience is not the absence of pain, but the ability to endure it while continuing forward. Brosnan's children, particularly the adopted children from his first marriage, are central to his present life. The love he pours into family is both a source of joy and a way to honor those he has lost. Through their eyes, he has found purpose beyond fame, a reason to continue despite personal and professional challenges. Each milestone, each shared moment, is a testament to survival, commitment, and the power of human connection. Professionally, Pierce has continued to embrace roles that challenge him artistically, while reflecting personal growth. Films like The Matador, The Ghostwriter, and other projects allow him to explore complex characters, merging his life experience with cinematic storytelling. The blend of public persona and private reality continues to define his career, as he carefully chooses projects that resonate emotionally, intellectually, and personally. The tragedy of Pierce Brosnan is not found in public scandal or professional failure. It is the quiet, ongoing weight of personal loss, the hidden struggles of a man who has endured grief, responsibility, and the pressures of a life lived in the spotlight. Behind the iconic smile, the charm, and the global recognition lies a human being profoundly shaped by tragedy and resilience. As he stands at 72, reflecting on decades of life, career, and personal struggle, Brosnan embodies the duality of human existence: public triumph juxtaposed with private sorrow, professional acclaim shadowed by personal loss. His life serves as both a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration, an example of endurance, resilience, and the capacity to continue despite the inevitability of loss. Brosnan's story reminds us that tragedy is not always dramatic or public. Sometimes it is the silent grief, the unseen sacrifices, and the private battles that shape a life. His narrative is one of survival, illustrating that even amidst heartbreak, a human being can find strength, purpose, and meaning. The man who captivated audiences as James Bond also teaches us that the greatest battles are often fought in the quiet, in the spaces between public adoration and private reflection. And while the years may bring physical challenges, emotional reflection, and inevitable contemplation of mortality, Pierce Brosnan's life remains a testament to resilience. It is a story of a man who faced loss, heartbreak, and the relentless pressures of fame, yet emerged with grace, empathy, and the courage to continue living fully. The tragedy is undeniable, the heartbreak real, but so too is the strength, humanity, and unwavering spirit of a man who has navigated life's most difficult trials while leaving an indelible mark on Hollywood and the world.